Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something super cool, how we can safely bridge the gap between tiny, low-voltage microcontrollers and massive, high-voltage appliances. If you've ever wondered how a delicate little chip can command wall power without, melting into a tiny puddle of silicon, you are in exactly the right place.
All right, let's just start right at the finish line. What we're working toward is a fully functional, automated smart streetlight, humming along safely right here on the lab bench. I know, it looks like a chaotic jumble of wires at first glance, but by the end of our time together, you're going to understand exactly how every single connection makes that bulb glow. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering the smart streetlight, essential hardware and safety, wiring the relay circuit, coding active low logic, live testing and troubleshooting, and finally, real-world relay automation. Section 1, the Smart Street Link. So, the fundamental problem we're solving in hardware automation is a massive power mismatch. Our Arduino brain runs on a highly sensitive, super fragile 5 volts. But our end goal? We want to command a standard household bulb that demands raw, dangerous, high-voltage AC wall power. If you tried to hook those two up directly, your microcontroller wouldn't just fail, it would literally be instantly destroyed. Section 2, Essential Hardware and Safety. To cross this divide, we really need two major players. First, the ATmega 328P-based Arduino Uno. That's our logic brain. And second, our true hero component, the 5-volt single-channel relay module. What's absolutely brilliant about this specific relay is that it features built-in optocoupler isolation. It literally uses light to send signals internally. That means high-voltage spikes simply cannot travel backwards and fry our Arduino. Now, I need to emphasize something incredibly crucial before we go any further. These safety warnings, they aren't just suggestions. They act as absolute laws of physics. When we introduce alternating current into a prototype, we aren't just playing with code anymore. We are handling real-world power that demands profound respect. Because of that, you have to rigorously execute 3 rules before making any physical connections. Number 1, de-energization. Unplug the main AC wall power completely. Number 2, insulation. Tighten those terminal screws down hard and make sure absolutely no bare copper wire is exposed. And number 3, personal safety. Never, ever touch physical AC terminals or the metallic relay blocks while the system is connected to live electricity. Section 3, wiring the relay circuit. Okay, keeping safety top of mind, the most critical concept to grasp here is the isolation principle. This principle ensures total physical separation to protect your logic board from destructive reverse surges. The low-voltage DC control side and the high-voltage AC load side must share 0 common electrical voltage rails. They don't even share a ground. They are completely physically severed from one another. To actually achieve this, we basically divide our setup into 2 completely distinct worlds. On the safe, low-voltage control side, we wire VCC to the Arduino's 5-volt rail, ground to ground, and the IN pin directly to digital pin D8. Then, on the hazardous load side, we take the live phase wire from the wall, literally break it in half, and route it through the common and normally open terminals. The neutral wire bypasses the relay entirely and goes straight to the bulb. What this setup does is turn the relay into a perfectly isolated gatekeeper, separating these 2 power networks. Think of it like this. The Arduino controls a tiny, low-voltage electromagnetic coil. That coil mechanically reaches across an air gap to snapshot a high-power switch arm, which completes the AC path. It's a physical air gap keeping your gears safe. Section 4, coding active low logic. So jumping into the firmware, we run into a really fascinating little micro-mystery. Why does dropping digital pin D8 to 0 volts, sending a low signal, actually turn the bulb on? It feels entirely counterintuitive, doesn't it? You'd naturally think high means on, low means off. Well, the answer lies in the hardware design. Most standard industrial relay boards utilize what's called active low logic. So when you drive pin D8 low, it completes the circuit for that optocoupler we talked about, which lets current flow in and energize the internal relay coil. That energized coil becomes a magnet, pulls the internal armature down, and snap. The AC circuit closes and the light is on. Drive the pin high, the coil de-energizes, the switch opens, and the light goes off. To control all this, we utilize a 3,000 millisecond delay in our C++ code to enforce a strict 3-second timing loop. We set the pin low,
Wait 3000 milliseconds while the bulb shines bright, then set the pin high and wait another 3000 milliseconds in total darkness. This gives us a perfectly clean, automated, non-flickering on and off cycle that just repeats indefinitely.
Section 5, live testing and troubleshooting.
This is the climax of our lab session. Flipping that switch connects our digital code to the raw, physical world. It requires intense focus and highly systematic observation. We aren't just crossing our fingers and hoping it works. We are engineers, methodically validating a hardware prototype. So we follow a strict 4-step operational procedure to validate our success. First, flash the firmware. Second, lean in and listen closely. You should hear a rhythmic, highly audible mechanical click exactly every 3 seconds from the relay module. Third, verify that mechanical click perfectly aligns with the bulb illuminating. And finally, step 4, record your diagnostic data, making sure there's no noticeable delay or erratic visual flickering. Now let's be real, things don't always go right the first time. If your circuit fails, we can use a quick diagnostic matrix to isolate the root cause. No clicking sound at all? You likely have an active low logic error or maybe reversed your DC polarity. Relay clicks, but the bulb stays dark, check for a loose AC wire or just a dead bulb. And if you hear rapid, crazy clicking and your Arduino keeps resetting, your relay coil is drawing way too much current. Just swap to a stable external 5-volt power supply and you're golden.
Section 6, real-world relay automation. What's wild is that the exact same isolated relay logic we just verified on our bench scales up dramatically. These identical principles are used to run dusk-to-dawn municipal smart lighting across entire city blocks. They're used in residential smart homes to hook up IoT hubs to high-power space heaters. And they're even utilized in heavy industrial environments to safely switch massive fluid pumps using low-voltage commands from programmable controllers. Ultimately, the relay is the fundamental interface bridging digital logic code with high-power physical devices. Mastering this single critical component is an absolute game-changer. It is the key to unlocking robust hardware automation, commercial IoT infrastructure, and heavy industrial machinery. We've taken a fragile little 5-volt chip and empowered it to safely command the raw, hazardous power of the AC mains. With that barrier between low-voltage brains and high-voltage brawn completely demystified, the only question left is, what real-world system are you going to automate next? Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and I absolutely cannot wait to see what you build.